Dear students, today we are going to talk about capital budgeting for the MBA program and MCOM program also of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. Capital budgeting is all about evaluating long-term investment decisions. Please bear it in mind that the long-term investment decisions are irreversible, meaning that once you make decision, you cannot take it back. Once you commit funds in a project, you cannot take it back. It's committed forever and for the long term. It is contrary to our working capital management. When it comes to working capital management, the spending is for the short term. It may be for 1 day, 1 month, but not beyond 12 months. So all spendings in working capital management are all in short term. But when it comes to capital budgeting or capital investment decision, it's long term in nature. It's irreversible. Therefore, a due caution has to be taken. Now, what is this capital budgeting? It's financial planning and managing firms' long-term investment. What happens if you don't plan? What happens if you don't plan? Capital budgeting refers to the process of planning and managing a firm's long-term investment. It's planning and managing firm's long-term investment. What happens if you don't plan? If you don't plan, the scarce resources, particularly the financial resources, will be wasted or become unproductive. So, longer the plan that you take, more effective the execution would be. So, when you take concrete step, strong decision, backed by the data, driven by the data, then the investment decision will be effective and less wastage of the financial resources. It helps us with whether the investment projects are, whether a given project is worth carrying it forward or not. For example, if you want to purchase a machine for a new project which you may commence in Dehradun, maybe power plant, is it worth to hire this project or is it worth to purchase this project? Okay, if you decide to purchase the project, to purchase the machine, purchase from where? Is it from BHEL or from some other Indian company or some other company from abroad? So, you have to make so much of analysis, market survey with regard to the pricing. Not just that, it's not just purchasing analysis, it's also what is the duration, what is the lifespan of the machine that you are procuring. When it comes to power projects, it's the turbines, the hydel turbines, the thermal turbines, it's the turbines. What is the duration? For example, when we look at the aircraft that crashed in Ahmedabad, the life of that aircraft was 20 years, but even much before its lifespan, it crashed. There was a malfunction. Reason could be anything. It is out of the books even before its life. Fine. To avoid this kind of situation, you can understand the gravity of the loss of financial resources when you don't plan properly. It's Boeing, the aircrafts that we have purchased. So, did we not plan properly? Did we not check the actual lifespan? Did we not, exactly assess the price at which we are procuring? Is it not, the servicing of the debt that we had to look at to buy this aircraft? So many doubts, so many thoughts, so much of analysis might have undergone when these aircrafts from Boeing were procured. And likewise, many other aircraft manufacturers. Okay, so when you are purchasing a machine, or in some cases it may be launching new product, when you want to launch the new product, what is that? you're diversifying from existing course of production, and for that your existing machinery, your existing equipment, your existing plant may not be able to support the new product. For example, Boxer XT was there in Bajaj Fold in manufacturing. When Pulsar has to be launched, that's a new product. So there should be a separate plant, separate machinery and separate manpower train on in that. Let's say, there is a BYD motor vehicle. All along Ford was the company for which there's a manufacturing unit in Chennai, and for a couple of decades or maybe 3 decades, this Ford company was running. And when the Ford company closed its operations in India, then they wanted to go for the alternative. The businessmen, the automobile manufacturers wanted to go for automobile distributors are looking for avenues for the alternatives. Then came BYD with the electronic segment, electric vehicle segment. There are many electric vehicle segment that is coming up now. You have Kia, you have BYD, you have many more electronic vehicles segments. So all along you have been producing vehicles driven by petrol or vehicles driven by diesel, but now you want to go for the electric vehicles, driven by the batteries, recharged batteries. For that, you need a special type of equipment, particularly to cater to the needs of the manufacture of these vehicles. So therefore, launching a new product is the point where we started. Or sometimes what happens is you may be expanding your business operations. Or let's say, the BYD has come to the Indian market. For South India, it might have set up a plant at Chennai, or maybe Kia might have set up a plant in South India in one place. And the Kia also want to have another plant to cater to the needs of the North India. So when you're going for the expansion, when the demand is high and you want to release more output into the market, and to achieve that increased demand and increased volume desired, then you have to enhance your production. To enhance the production, you need to improve and expand the existing plant facilities and install additional machinery. Of course, the manpower will be there. Additionally, at times these days the robots are replaced with the humans with the accurate and perfection. So these are the 3 major reasons why the investment decision, capital budgeting decisions are taken. Reasons why capital budgeting decisions are taken. Number 1, for purchasing a new machine in replacement of the existing machine, or launching a new product which is diversification, or expanding facilities, the expansion of the plant. So these are the reasons. Now we will go to objectives of capital budgeting. What is the purpose? What is the objective of capital budgeting? Now you see here 4 reasons, 4 purposes. One is to evaluate the profitability of the investment. The investors are those people who set aside their hard-earned money as savings, and they expect return on that. Let's say if some family household saves about 1,000 rupees per month and he expects that to grow. If it doesn't grow, then it is of no use. It's better that he consumes it. So therefore, when he is setting up aside out of his savings, a reason could be for future needs. Another reason is to increase his wealth. So in some cases, it is both to meet the future needs along with growth in his money. So profitability is the point, profitability. What is the profitability of a company? When he looks at what is the profitability, because the investor expects maximization of the profit or return on his investment, the managers are bound to achieve this expectation, meet this expectation and fulfill the objectives of the financial management. What are the objectives of the financial management? One is wealth maximization for the shareholders. Another one is profit maximization. Some shareholders may be interested in long-term wealth maximization, that is increased value of their shares in the long run, and some shareholders, they may be interested in immediate returns, which is profit maximization. In order to take care of these twin expectations of the investors, the shareholders, the stockholders of the company, the managers, while setting up a machine which is budgeting for the capital, setting up of the machine, while setting up a machine, he has to budget for it. He has to carefully examine every alternative, possible alternative for him at his disposal. So, he checks each alternative's profitability, each machine's profitability. If I go for this machine which costs 110 crores, what is the profitability? How long will it take for me to recover this 1.1 crore, and how long it will work after that? What is the profitability? And also the risk of the long-term investment. What is the risk element lurking around while you are investing the money in the projects, be it in the new machine or it in the new product or it in the new plant or the expansion plants? So what are the risk factors? What is the degree of risk element in this? So this is reason number one. Now I'll come to reason number two. Align investment decisions with the strategic goals. Every decision, from smallest departments to the biggest department, every section, every unit of the production facility, every unit, every branch of manufacturing units, they have to synchronize or align their investment decisions with the overall mission and vision of the organization. It cannot be completely diverse directions that the department and the organizational goals go. They should go hand in hand. They should go in perfect synchrony. They should go together. So therefore, all your investment decisions are to be aligned with strategic goals. Then optimize capital allocation. You may be handling 100 crores, 200 crores, 300 crores, and you cannot afford to be careless with a few thousands of rupees when it comes to hundreds of crores. No, because you are not the owner of that money. That money is committed to you, into your hands by the investors, spread across the country, across the globe. When so much of money is committed into your hand, it is out of great trust they have reposed on you. In that case, you had to be very, very careful, and you had to go for optimal allocation of capital. The highest return in every option you need to expect. Optimal, highest return you should see in every decision that you make for the machinery, expansion, new product. Then enhance the shareholders' value. I already told you this is nothing but wealth maximization. Shareholders' value maximization is nothing but enhancing the shareholder. Let me tell you, to make you understand even easier. When Kim's Hospital has gone for the public issue, for listing and public issue, the hospital share might have sold, they have launched, they have gone for public issue with the 500 rupees, 10 rupees share, they have gone to the market with 500. And then it reached up to 1600. After 1600, they have split the stock, each share into two. Then each share became 800. That 800 also is growing. Look at this. Where you started with 500. 500 became 1600. I'm talking about each share. 500 became 1600. Now 1600 is divided into two. Then two shares you got of each 800 rupees. Now this 800 also after 3 months has gone to 1200. Now what is your, after 3 years I'm saying, of public issue, what is the worth of money that you have invested is in your account. So 1200 plus 1200, 2400. You have invested 500, that investment became 1600, now it is 2400. That's how the investment grows. It grows only when it is properly planned. These are the objectives of capital budgeting. What is the process of capital budgeting? Now, the steps involved in capital budgeting process, you have to understand the content. If you read the content from the material supplied by the university, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University, you can handle any question that is appearing in the examination paper. In some question papers, the question may be, what is capital budgeting process? It may be for a short question. You have to write only for a few lines because that carries only 5 or 6 marks. And you cannot write a lengthy answer. I don't mean that you should be restricted, but time is the constraint, therefore you have to manage the time. So there may be a long essay on the same topic that we have discussed just now. Now we are talking about capital budgeting process and the steps involved in capital budgeting process. What are the steps? There are 6 steps presented in front of you, and these 6 steps can be expanded in detail for an essay of 12 marks or 15 marks, whatever is there in your question paper. First thing is to identify the investment opportunities. When it is investment opportunities, it may be healthcare facility, it may be power projects, or it may be some other area. It may be the IT companies. Nepal may be opening up for the tax holiday IT special economic zones, just like India, which has been doing for the last 30 years. So there's an investment opportunity. Okay. Now, whether to invest in Sri Lanka or Nepal or Bhutan or Burma or Pakistan, these are our neighbors. So which area we can invest? When you think of that, you will screen the proposals. There may be 6 to 7 countries around you, but you have resources to invest only in one country, only one project. In that case, you need to screen. When you screen, what happens? You have to prioritize. You have to set them in hierarchy, in one by one. You should be giving top priority or top rank to the best project that you consider after careful examination of the project. If you go to Nepal, there is a political instability, but not that unstable as in case of Pakistan. And if you go to Burma, it's very cheap to invest there. It's very cheap. You will get free land and there's no tax, but the political unrest is a risk element there. So likewise, you examine various factors, then take into consideration to screen the proposals. After that, I'm talking about socio-economic factors. After that, in the third case, you have to evaluate the proposals. Maybe out of 10 proposals, you will shortlist 3 proposals. Out of 3 proposals, you will select only one. How do you select one? Using the financial evaluation technique. Which project is most viable? Some projects, in some cases, what happens, first 3 years, you will have bumper profits, super profits. And after that, there won't be any profit. Just like I frequently tell this, some cows or some buffaloes, first 2 months, they give very good yield of milk. But after 3 months, they stop giving milk. But first 3 months, 10, 15 liters per day also you can expect from some of the buffaloes and cows in Indian scenario. But there are some buffaloes, when they start giving, milking season comes, when you start milking the buffaloes, they give year long, even during the summer. So therefore, it's a consistency and long term yield which is important. It is not just short term and quick payback period, it is also long term. So you should look at short term and long term when you are making or evaluating the project for financial angle or financial technique. Then project selection. Finally, you select the project, then execute it. While executing also, there may be many challenges, and when you look at the challenges, you have to report back while executing this project. Every time, where did we go wrong? Every time you have to cross check. Just because a project is commenced, you cannot just take it for granted. Let's say a nuclear power plant. Successfully we have commenced the manufacturing, successfully we have commissioned the project, nuclear power project. But you should be cross checking whether we have done correct, or are there any possible challenges in the future to come. While implementing, if you carefully examine these elements, then you will avoid so many risks. This is nothing but performance review analysis. You call it by any name, it is just checking back of what you have executed and what you have planned for your long-term financial commitment. So these 6 steps broadly you can take. There is no hard and fast rule that it should be only 6 steps. Some people may list only 5 steps, some people may list 10 steps. It's not the matter, but how these 6 are broad, these 6 are most popular steps in any capital budgeting process. Types of capital budgeting decisions I have already explained to you, but now for your information I can just present one more time to you. For expansion purpose, you go for capital budgeting. I have already covered this. For replacement purpose, you go for, there's an old machine and it's worn out or it's not giving good output, you have to replace it. You have to get a new machine in that place. Or sometimes, the camera that I'm now speaking through, which is procured, I'm told 20 years back, 10, 15 years back, 20 years back. So all these are very costly equipment when they were procured, and with a huge budget they have procured. At the time, most advanced cameras these were, but now there's so much of technological advancement took place, and because of that the cost of these cameras have come down, the quality also improved. Therefore, there is a need to replace these cameras that are shooting this lesson. So this is replacement. Replacement, now just as I told you, for modernization purpose. Now these days it's all about digitalization. As it is being shot, it can be straight away on simultaneously on the social media or YouTube. Now there are projects which are mutually exclusive. If you invest in one project, you cannot invest in another project. That's what I told you. The money or the financial resources are scarce. Therefore, you should see the optimum return for every pound, every rupee that is being spent on the project. So if you invest in one project, you are restricted automatically from investing in other projects. That's why they are mutually exclusive. Investing in one project restricts you from investing in other projects. Then cost reduction process. The camera example again is related to this. Earlier, with one camera, there were 4 cameras operating, and there's a lot of lighting required. Now, the technology is such that one camera contains the lighting, okay, the resolution, it adjusts the environment. So many sophisticated features are in just one camera, and you don't need, and there are also drone system, 360 degrees view, you can say, you can take it from side, left side, right side, top, it can move. So there are so many improvements made. And not just that, there is a reduction in the cost also. When you look at that, you have to go for the new project expansion and replace. It's just like, lastly, one thing I'll tell you. When I bought my tape recorder, the repair cost, I bought it for 300, the repair cost was 900. Imagine what I did. I replaced with a new tape recorder with 4,000 rupees, wherein I needed not spend for nearly 10 years. I reduced so much of cost. Had I retained the old tape recorder, I would have spent every month so much of money. In 1 year, I spent 900. In 10 years, it might have been 9,000. It's a simple logic in the last point. With this, I conclude introduction to capital budgeting. Thank you very much.